Hi, I'm Jake, and this is episode 7 of Jake Makes Food. This is part of our 4-part series for tonight's dinner. This is gonna be homemade garlic butter naan. If you've never had this, it's a Indian flatbread. It's delicious, you're gonna love it. It's very easy to make at home, and it's seriously delicious. Stay tuned. All right, so what we have here is 2 cups of bread flour. You can use all-purpose flour or some combination thereof. We have a 1/2 cup of warm water. We have a teaspoon of yeast. We have 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 8 ounces of Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. And then we have 3 tablespoons of butter, and we have 2 teaspoons of garlic. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start preparing our yeast. We're gonna pour in our yeast into the 1/2 cup of warm water. We're gonna taste to make sure we're adding sugar, not salt. We're gonna let the yeast start to eat through the sugar and populate our water. So we're just gonna kind of stir that up just to kind of get the sugar integrated into our warm water. And we're just gonna set this yeast mixture off to the side and let it start working. While our yeast is working, we're gonna add the rest of our dry ingredients, which is just gonna be a teaspoon of salt to our flour. And we're gonna go throw our garlic butter into the microwave to melt and get ready to put into our flour as well. All right, about 30 seconds after being in the microwave, 20 to 30 seconds, depending on your microwave, our butter is melted, integrated with that garlic, and it smells awesome. Obviously it's garlic and butter, so you can't go wrong. We're gonna mix our dry ingredients just so that salt's kind of evenly distributed. Before we start adding things, we're gonna create a well. We're gonna add our garlic butter. We're gonna add our Greek plain yogurt. And we're just gonna give that a little bit of a mix before we add the rest of our yeast and sugar. All right, so here's the part that's gonna get a little bit messy, but it's more than worth it because this bread is seriously delicious. We're gonna add our 1/2 cup of water that has had a little bit of time for that yeast to start kicking in and eating through the sugars. We're gonna start mixing it with a spatula just because it's gonna be a little wet to begin with. Once we've started to mix it through, we'll start mixing the rest with our hands. All right, so now our hands are a little floured and we're gonna start mixing by hand. So this is a little bit of a sticky dough, but once you have it into a nice ball, we're gonna put a damp towel over it, set it off to the side, and give it an hour or so to rise. In the meantime, we're gonna work on some other things. All right, so now we're back after our dough has risen, and as you can see, we've shaped it into even size balls that are about the size of a baseball. And we've floured our rolling pin. We've also floured our working surface. And what we're trying to do is we want this to be nice and flat because it's gonna rise again when we put it on the grill. So something about this thin, kind of like a thick tortilla. All right, and now we have our pieces of naan and we're gonna head out to the grill. All right, so we've oiled our griddle that we've put on here on the grill. It's already hot, and we're just gonna lay our naan down and let it cook. All right, and if you wanna get a close shot here, you'll notice that there's starting to be bubbles on this side. That's how you know it's ready to turn. Once we turn, we're gonna add a little bit of garlic butter on top.